Every supernatural act of God is provoked by something you say or something you do. There must be movement on earth, or there be movement in the heavens. God being God doesn't interfere with affairs of men without men being involved. Everything that God will do for man will involve a man, including our salvation. You are praying for divine intervention in your finances. Then God may lead you to write a poem and to sing it. And as you're singing it, the hearts of men open up. There is something you'll be inspired to do, or something you'll be inspired to say, for the supernatural to open up. It doesn't just open up by prayer. Prayer is to give you inspiration. So when you pray, you receive inspiration, and inspiration leads you to say something or to do something. God might have told you, do this or go there. There might be an inspired action, but timing is very important. How do you know you should do it? When you begin to feel the presence of God concerning it. Please ensure that any step you take, you have an assurance of His presence. It's not something you feel, it's something you sense. It's not physically felt. Presence of God is not whoosh, hish. No. Presence of God is a discernment of your heart. His presence comes to your heart, and you know it's time to do this. You know it's time to stop doing that. You know the presence of God gives you the knowledge of His timing. Because you can have the right inspired actions, but you take the actions at the wrong time. Remember Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It says He makes everything beautiful when? In His time. So timing is very important for the supernatural. The supernatural opens up when Mr. Flesh dies. If you want to provoke the supernatural power of God, deal with the appetites and the tendencies of this mortal body, Mr. Flesh. And flesh is of three things. Deal with your sleep appetite, deal with your food appetite, and master your sex appetite, and the supernatural will open up to you. Sex, food, and sleep are the gods that have suffocated the supernatural in the life of many, allowing the inward man to manifest the glory of God's presence. You must be addicted to a fasting life. Please listen. If at all the supernatural is to open up to you, and this will interest you, even unbelievers who do wicked things, they fast. I'm told of those people who were involved in September 9th, 11th, the 9/11 attack in US. They had embarked on a 40-day fast before the attack. 40. We must attack. I'm not eating. We must attack. I'm not eating. They manifested the supernatural in the negative. You see, fasting is not a Christian practice. Fasting is a spiritual practice. Never think of fasting as a Christian. It's not a Christian thing. It's a spiritual thing. Anyone who wants to be sensitive in the spirit, in whichever world, must embark on the practice and the discipline of fasting. In Philippians chapter 3, verse 19, whose God is their belly, therefore their glory is in their shame. Fasting is the avenue through which the supernatural opens up to us in the physical realm. When Satan wants to destroy your life, he gives you an unusual appetite. That's why of late you say that, nasikia kukula. Have you heard of this nonsense that when I'm stressed, I eat a lot? You say, when I'm stressed, I eat. Do you know why? So that he can kill you. You are stressed, he gives you appetite. Because he knows that as long as your belly is full, he will destroy you. So when I'm stressed, he's, you're eating it. I'm stressed too. I'm stressed. Keke. Chua. You're eating everything. The supernatural opens up when you begin to observe disciplines of food in your life. Whenever you are to do something very important in your life, or you are to make a major decision in your life, or you are faced with situations that don't look normal, enter into a fast. You will find that your spirit will begin to take dominion over the issue. Fasting does not destroy Satan. Satan was destroyed 2,000 years ago. Fasting helps you enter into that reality. Yeah. Because it's a spiritual thing. So fasting doesn't bring the blessings from God. The blessings of God and from God were settled 2,000 years ago at the cross. What fasting does is to allow your spirit to enter into the reality of those things. They tell you, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a servant. The spiritual side of it says, woe to him whose king is a child and whose princess eat in the morning. You want the supernatural to open up? Please have some days when you skip some meals to connect to source. You have a marital battle. You have a battle in your office. You have a financial battle. Things are not adding up the way they should. Tell yourself the next 2-3 days, I'm only going to eat dinner, or I'm going to eat one meal. And then in the course of those days, in your heart, keep quoting some scriptures. No weapon formed. No weapon formed. No weapon formed. In your heart. Sometimes say it audibly. That negative thing will not happen. You know what will happen? The fasting and the meditations will lift your spirit to subdue the issue. That's the realm of dominion.